Hello everyone, this is a special episode. So I've wrapped up filming all of 90 Day Fiancé, or before 90 Day Fiancé. And what I wanted to do now is like a tier list. I'm taking this one offline. So this one, it has Saint, Good, Pathetic, Human Trash, and D. So I've just changed around the tier list a little bit. I put Human Trash at the bottom, kind of put Meh or like Mid in the middle. And I'm going to tier them this way. So we're going to start with Avery. Oh, Avery, that's a real tough one straight away. Avery had some really good questions. I think Avery and Ash are probably the two who actually approached this show with like a possible relationship in mind. I feel like a few of them didn't have the idea of a relationship or pure scams. I really feel like let's put Avery and Ash just in mid to begin with. I'm saying like both of these, it's a relationship that they wanted to work. I can see that they wanted to actually make this work. So they're not as fake as some of the other people. In saying that, I think they had realistic expectations and they kept having that problem where like they had massive issues that they kept just trying to like progress to the next stage instead of dealing with, which was not the best way to handle the situation. At least they did have some fun times together, but in the end they decided not to be together. The big issue that these two had was like they just could not communicate and they were trying to rush a whole relationship through, and I think that just wouldn't work. Maybe if they lived in the same country and they met under different situations, but honestly, Avery in the meh category, she's not really that bad. I'm going to be trying to be like really generous in this. So I'm just going to put her in good. I didn't really see her doing too much evil. She did want to talk through her relationships. She didn't say anything too like randomly off cuff. That kind of brings us then really nicely into Ash. Ash. Ash is definitely more controversial. I do feel like the show was trying to make him feel quite evil. I will say this, as I've said so many times before, that we're going off a reality TV show. A lot of the reality isn't that much of a reality. So you got to understand where people are trying to be like painted certain colors, certain ways. So I'm going to say Ash is a bit of a weird fella. I do understand what she was saying, what Avery was saying with Ash, that she couldn't quite like gauge him where like his true honest self. From the content that we saw in the TV show, I'm gonna have to kind of put Ash in the meh category. Like his whole business was kind of weird, everything like that was kind of strange, but I can't really fault him for it completely. That's his job. We didn't really go into anyone else's job except for him, so he's kind of put on blast for that, especially if you don't hold any of his views, which, you know, I don't really agree with them, but that's why I'm kind of going to put him in the meh category. Avery, honestly, she could be in meh as well, but I'm going to keep her in the good because I thought she was open to discussion. So from what I saw, they were both kind of meh and good. So they're probably the easiest two to do. Oh, we are straight back into another Aussie here. So we got Erica and Stephanie. So Erica, you know, I think Erica, like this is such bias though. This is such bias coming from an Australian. Erica, I'm going to put you, honestly, you stood up for yourself the whole time. You had realistic expectations. I think you two had some fun anyway, like going around Australia and South Australia. I thought Erica was very open from what we could see. And I think she had to deal with a lot of shit that Stephanie brought up that wasn't true or like was just rubbish. Honestly, Erica, the only reason though I'm like almost hesitant to put you in Saint mode is you drove for like 3 hours to meet her for like a 5-minute conversation. Erica, you didn't need to do that. I don't know if I would even call this like Saint. I feel like this is more like a category where they just understand relationships really well and know how to deal with them. Erica, it's like you gave it a good try. I'm going to put you up in there because again, I'm being generous. Brings me to Stephanie. Stephanie. God damn, Stephanie. Stephanie, you were really annoying. Basically, you would just try to find any situation where you could start to argue with Erica. You would just say the same things every time and then start screaming. You were super annoying. Honestly, you were quite pathetic. You felt very manipulative. You wanted to take Erica away from all of her friends all the time. Man, there was something really dishonest about your whole character the entire way through the show that was bugging me, but I didn't really want to like a lot of this is the only problem with Erica. This is the only problem with like commentating on Erica and Stephanie's story is like most of their, like half of their story is about their relationship, which, you know, That's what we're here for, the drama, baby. But then the other half of their story was about like their personal lives and like coming out to their family as bi, and that's something that's not what's being taken into account when I'm doing this ordering. It's more their relationship that we saw, nothing else. So I really thought she was kind of pathetic most of the time, very annoying and putting a lot on. So Erica, I'm putting you in the pathetic category. I'm sorry. Pathetic, that's harsh, but human trash. Who wrote these? I didn't write these, actually. Human trash. I think that's too harsh. I feel like that's gonna be too harsh for no, you know what? I might chuck some in there. Oh, baby, we got him. The British bad boy, Tom. Oh, don't you love him? Is it Tom? I feel like I kept getting his name wrong. Anyway, Tom. Sexy beast, putting you in Saint. I'm kidding. Tom, for me, didn't feel like he was even in it. Like, I feel more than any of the other characters that Tom was just in this so that he could get on TV. So it's kind of pathetic that he was in it just to get on TV. I feel like he really didn't care about Darcy at all. I feel like he was just using the situation. I think he's been in 2 other seasons, so we already know that he likes to play the game. That's how he got all popular and everything. That's why I feel like he had a second motivation, which was like to become famous, and that's why he was on this show. I didn't take anything he said as genuine. Even his put downs were like for show. And the whole thing, nearly every single episode with Tom was him desperately trying to get into the TV show. Like, he's just like, I sent a letter away. And we would watch 3 episodes of him just talking to different mates and being like, oh, I thought she was really nice. And there wasn't really much of the relationship going on. It was kind of pathetic. I feel like it was all for show to get on the show. Also, who could forget that bit when he's like, your personality's ugly and you're fat. That was wild. That was the meme. You know that meme where it's like, yeah, she's really annoying and she's ugly. That was James Tom. That was him. That was amazing when he did that. Gotta put you in the pathetic category, though. I really feel a lot of this was for show. Interestingly, with Darcy, I started her off thinking that she was more for show than Tom was. But I still feel like a lot of what she was doing was putting a lot of this drama on to get more into the TV show. At the same time, I did see when she was making some remarks and the way she was dealing with relationships was really good. She was like, yeah, no, this is really toxic and I'm gonna cut it off and I'm gonna care for myself and my family. And I thought that was actually great. I think she was the only one. I'm seriously, I'm putting her in Saint tier. I know this is crazy. I think she was the only one who was she knew what she was wanting in the relationships. She knew that the relationship was bad and she cut it off. Admittedly, yeah, she got rolled over in conversations and stuff like that by Tom, but she's just not as good in a life situation with dealing with that stuff. But I respect the fact that she would cut things off. And that is something that is needed by nearly everyone in this show. Don't know when to cut it off. She was the only one who feels like she knows when to cut off a relationship in this series. Maybe I feel like this is going to be controversial. I've just put her in the Saint category. Maybe she only belongs in the good because yeah, she does do a lot of silly stuff and there's a lot of silly drama stuff. But I mean, that's life. I don't know, man. Man, I'm gonna get so much hate for that one, aren't I? I know I am. I know. Maybe it's just because I enjoyed watching her on the TV. They're so wild. I've gone from oh, she's so annoying to yeah, she's my favorite one. Oh no, not David. Wow, they even got a sad looking picture of David here. That's really something. So David, what do we say about he's not a bad person per se. He you can't put him in meh. We know where he's going. It's pathetic. I'm sorry. I feel bad. You feel bad with calling someone pathetic. I feel like this is where it's kind of ranked wrong because pathetic is you feel bad for them. I guess And I don't feel like these two really belong in human trash though, because that's someone who's like really bad. But David is like the epitome of pathetic. We all know the relationship he has with Alana doesn't work. We all know she's just there scamming him. We all know it all fails, and we all know he still doesn't like get it. And that's why he squarely fits in pathetic. I don't think I really need to give much justification for it. But he does know how to ride a unicycle, so that's kind of cool. Oh, my big boy, Big Egg. Oh, baby, where are we putting you? Big Egg. Big Egg. It's a clear one for this. Always lying, only there for the sex. He just makes stuff up to make himself the victim. Lies to his family. In the tell-all episode, he says that he would give up his daughter again, while his daughter is on the call. That's disgusting. There is nowhere else that you could place him except for human trash. He's more than pathetic. He's more than pathetic because he lied. The main thing is, he lies to Rose about, it's cool, I get it, you will like want more kids and everything like that. He lies to Rose the whole way, and then he thinks later like, I can just make up for it. It's like, no man. It was a non-negotiable, the fact that you wanted, like, that Rose wanted kids, and you hid that fact the entire time. And a lot of, again, I feel like he was trying to make it out like, I brought it up with her to tell her. But it's like way too late, bro. Way too late in a relationship to bring that up. That's why he clearly fits in human trash. And then just the way he acted the entire time in the Philippines was really pathetic. But it's just it's his lies which put him in human trash. So that's why Big Egg gets the human trash pile. Lana. She's an interesting one because when she's appearing in the show, she doesn't seem that bad. She's quite good at hiding what she's doing, but it's also very clear it's a job. She's getting money out of this situation, and she's constantly lying. And she's also been pulling him along for like 10 years. That's a crazy amount of time to just lie. Like, we have to put her in the human trash. I feel like she belongs in a different level, actually. I feel like she belongs in the scammer, but let's just say human trash level, like, because she's a scammer. And I feel like some people will hate that I've done that, but you really have to remember, she's lied to, yes, he's pathetic, but she's lied to him the entire time for 10 years. And how do we know that she lied about the relationship? Is essentially, she will call up her friend and be like, I'm seeing this guy. They've never heard of David. Never heard of David even once. And to David, he's been in a relationship for 10 years with her. To her, her best friend doesn't even know about David. And she's just like, I'm seeing this guy now. She's just wanting to get to America. See, that's the one thing though. I understand the motivation she has here isn't that evil, which is like, she wants to move to another country. That motivation in itself isn't that evil if you tell people and go about it the right way. But she's clearly like scamming him for 10 years and then wants to get like the green card out of it. So we gotta put you in the human trash category. Lisa. Damn. Lisa might surprise you. Lisa, I feel, is the one who probably got the most rawest deal from the reality TV show. I think it really tried to show her at her worst points. I'm just saying this with absolutely no evidence to back it up, of course. And I'm wanting to be opaque with that. I'm wanting to be clear with that. I think the thing is with Lisa is that I am much more willing to believe everything that Lisa says than Usman. Usman seems to like lie about a lot of the stuff that he says happens. So that's why I actually understand why Lisa is pissed off most of the time, because Usman is lying to her the entire time. So when a lot of the scenes we see of her, like her being angry and everything, I think it's kind of reasonable. And, you know, when it's taken out of context and just shown to you in a row, you're just like, she's a terrible person. But I kind of think she's reasonable with a lot of the stuff. And then again, in the tell-all, she is a lot better at dishing out advice to people about relationships and how she sees them. But she's not as good at her looking at her own relationship and being able to be like, oh, this isn't good. So because of that, I'm gonna have to put her in the good tier, where she's in it for the right reasons, but she's not quite able to really assess the relationship and how it's going. She does make some bad moves, and she does seem quite rude in some scenes. So that's why we're just gonna put her in the good tier, even though, you know, I've said all that positive stuff about her. Rose. Saint. I love Rose. She's awesome. Again, Rose seemed to be genuine in the TV show that she wants a relationship. She was genuine in her feelings towards Ed. She was straight up and open about everything. Yes, there was a bit of a language barrier there for sure, but she was straight up and open. She wanted to bring him into her home with her family. But again, Ed was the one who then wanted her to leave her whole family, including her son, and then just go to like a tourist destination to have sex for a few days. Like, and that's how he was like, oh, we'll get closer that way. Even though her whole thing is like, well, we're meant to be a family, and that includes my son. So that's why I put Rose up here. I felt like she was not able to defend herself in the tell-all, and that comes from like, honestly, like language barrier hitting in there, and that was quite rough. But I think Rose is a saint, so we're gonna keep her in the saint category. Oh, Soldier Boy! My man. He is a scammer, so we're gonna put him straight away in the human trash category. He's not only a scammer though, he's just lazy. He's lazy and stupid. That's such a terrible combination. He pretty much the entire way is just relying on other people to do stuff. Even for like getting married, he's like, wow, I really hope my brothers like come through for me. Like, no one knows. He doesn't put in any effort in this scam. Like, he's wanting to get a green card. We all know that. He wants to come to America. And that bit is actually fine, but he's just so pathetic about it. And then he's always lying to Lisa about it. And he's just got to just act like an adult, bro. Soldier Boy? Come on, man. He is human trash with the amount of times he lies. Just doesn't... Like, he really comes across as a small child who just won't make his bed. Like, just do stuff, dude. The whole way through, I was so frustrated at Usman. He's an idiot. I gotta put him in human trash. Oh, Yolanda. Yolanda, look, you're great. I love you. I think you're awesome. Your family's really caring for you. But, unfortunately, you just wouldn't click through that it was a scam. I think I need to watch the tell-all to see what happens in the end. But it wouldn't click through. So, look, Yolanda, look, honestly, I could even put you in the meh category. Because, like... You're not great with relationships is the thing, and I guess this is a relationship show, so am I judging you on that? I would probably put you in like the meh, you're not fantastic at it, but at least you're approaching everything with like a good personality, a good like, and your family's really nice. So Yolanda, honestly, I might keep you in a meh because you weren't listening to other people, but at the same time, you weren't like making the worst life decisions. Like you did decide like, maybe I won't fly to England, and that was a good decision. So I'm going to keep you in the meh category, actually. Of course, your boyfriend scammer group, I'm going to put in human trash. Not a whole heap to say about them. They were really lazy scammers. Like, they did not think through on anything, and that's why their scam fell through so horribly, and that's what made it rather pathetic. If it was a more, like, detailed scam, I would actually put her up into the good, but that's why she's in meh, because it was fairly obvious and everyone was telling her. But yeah, I don't really have too much to say about them since they were just really lazy with their whole plan. Does that bring us to an end? I think that does bring us to an end. Oh no, we have Big Ed's daughter, who I felt bad for. I'm gonna put her in good. I don't know. There, you're a saint. You're a saint because you have to deal with your dad, who's a dickhead. So, yeah.